Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that pursuant to Standing Order number 28 and 29, that the Senate do adjourn until Tuesday, 30th November 21st. Is that okay? Mr. Speaker, this is in line with the readjustment of our Senate calendar to be able to give us an opportunity to participate in the annual devolution conference. I think it will be something that will be able to help us interact with the county governors to be able to support the issue of devolution. I know one of the things that will feature very well in this year's devolution conference is the issue of the global warming. We know that the President will be opening the devolution conference in one of our counties. I think it's in Makueni County. And it will give us an opportunity to interact with the governors in a more friendly way. Most of the time when governors appear before the Senate is when they're being criticized, being asked about how they spend the money, or being called upon to account, or when there are issues that have been raised, like petitions and everything. But this will also give us an opportunity to be able to interact with our constituents. One of the biggest misunderstanding that exists between ourselves, elected leaders, and the constituents is that the constituents want to see you there on a daily basis. They want to see you there. In fact, they mostly say, we don't see you on the ground. We don't see you in the ground. And that's explained why the Senate today is empty, which is an embarrassment, because we are given a job by the constituents. I mean, these are facts. And I'm sorry that sometimes I just, speak so much truth that it hurts. But but we're given a job by the constituents. We go there, we seek a mandate to be able to represent them, to be able to contribute to bills, to pass. Mr. Speaker, this bill that we are just discussing here is a very important bill. It's an important bill that encourages people to do well or to want to do better things for their community. But we are not here to represent them. We are busy chasing the goose. We are busy trying to make sure that we are so popular on the ground, yet we don't do what is supposed to be done. And this is the place where you have to come, pass legislations, and ensure that whatever legislation passes, it does not affect the people that you represent. But this recess now, Mr. Speaker, a bit short, for about a week, will be able to give us an opportunity to now explain to our constituents what it is that we do for them in the Senate. A lot of them will say, Senator hajajanga barabara, Senator has not built a hospital for us. Senator, hakuna kitu ametuletea. Where is your development record? Senators don't give you a development record. These are things that constituents need to understand. What senators do is to fight for you to get more money. And once you get those monies, the MCAs on the ground, they are the first point of oversight. They are the ones who have got to ensure that that money is budgeted properly, and it is money that can be able to be spent wisely. And then now, the Senate now comes in oversight. I think most people need to read Article 96 so that they can understand the reason why most senators actually carry out and consider their legislative job their number one priority. Mr. Speaker, it will also be important for us to interact with the MCS, who will also be in this devolution conference. One of the biggest problems that county assemblies have is the issue of lack of autonomous in their financial dealings, because all county assemblies depend on the executive for them to be given their money. If you ask our colleagues in the county public account, in the CPIC, county, is it called county, or is it? County Public Accounts and Investment Committee, if you ask them, today they were meeting with assemblies, and today they happened to meet with the Assembly of Narok. And one of the biggest complaints was that we do not have the autonomy of financial autonomy. They have to depend. And then you say, why are these spending bills? How come they have accumulated so much? We don't have the money because we never received our full exchequer releases. So I think it will give us an opportunity to explore and interact with these MCAs, with the speakers of the assemblies, because they'll be there. They'll be invited to attend the devolution conference. We can also be able to sit down and interact with them and say, what do we need to do to amend the public Finance Management Act, the PFM, or even try to figure out even the County Governments Act, so that money can be released directly to the exchequer. Or if money is released to the county governments, because under Article 217 of the Constitution, it says that a share of county revenue which has been raised by the national government shall be released without undue delay. It doesn't say that county government should only operate under one treasury. I think those are things that we need to be able to debate, find a way that we can ensure that when we have county assemblies, they can be able to operate. We also need to be able to explain to them, and this is an opportunity for us to share what we've learned here. We've learned a lot. This issue of ceilings, county ceilings, budget ceilings for the county assembly, it is important for them to know, because the money that they use, if you look at a county like Narok, their budget for the county assembly is about 700 million. But they may want to do more than that. Is it possible? So we discussed this issue. And finally, Mr. Speaker, it will also give us a time to reflect on what will happen in the next coming years. You know, this issue of COVID-19 is something which is still there. We're out there still having super spreaders events, you know, and it is good for us to share with our people and say, you know, even though you like to hear us politicians come and lie to you and come and talk to you, just remember that you still have a responsibility to take care of yourself. So, Mr. Speaker, I beg to move, and do you need a second? And I beg to request my dear sister, whom I'm very proud of, Senator Petronina Were, to second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to reply. First, let me thank my dear sister, Senator Petronina Were Locorio, for seconding this motion. I just want to remind our colleagues that when we come back from the recess, we have a lot of bills in the order paper that requires all the senators to be here. At least if we can even get 24 senators online, or we can get a few senators to be able to vote for these legislations, it will encourage those senators who work tirelessly, and our secretariat, who have always been there. They spent sleepless nights to be able to research for the legislations that we pass in this House, for them to see that at least the work they do is meaningful. We'll have a lot of bills, I'm sure, even the last bill that we just debated here, that we would like to see be able to be passed, you know, during our term in office. It will be really embarrassing that we come here, we work, we spend most of our time, we spend taxpayers' money, but then when it comes to January next year, or even after the recess, and the sittings we have are very few. I think we'll probably only have about 3 sittings.